Good day everyone. Ngayon ang ating ika-15 aralin. Let me share again my screen. Dito tayo sa pang-15 aralin. Pagsusuri ng cash account at ang mga kaugnay na internal transactions. Ito yung tinatawag nating adjusting journal entries. Adjusting journal entries simply means recording of internal transactions. Pinag-usapan na natin yung external transactions, yung may source document. Kasi may involved na second party. I was always saying third party dun sa isang video natin, pero siguro ano lang ako, busy lang yung utak ko. It's not the second party, it's not a third party, but a second party or an outsider. So pag exchange transaction or external transaction, merong second party or outside party. Pag adjusting journal entries or recording of internal transactions, walang kaugnay, walang kontrata na ibang tao. Although siguro initially dun sa transaction na yun, although initially hindi siguro siguradong may may second party na involved. Pero dahil na-record ng external transaction at yung pagbabago dun sa situation, dun sa transaction na yun, wala nang another party or second party. So yun yung pagkakaiba ng internal transaction from external transaction. External transaction, may source document. Internal transactions, walang source document. Paano natin i-record ang mga internal transactions or adjusting entries kung walang source document? I-review natin isa-isa talaga yung mga accounts natin. Ano ba yung mga posibleng nangyari dito na magbabago doon sa accounting equation na asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. So yung cash natin, tatanungin natin, ano ba yung maaaring magbago doon sa original entry natin sa cash? Kunyari, at the end of the period, meron kang cash balance na 100,000. Sure ka na ba na yung nakarecord doon sa ledger account ang final amount para ilagay natin sa financial statement natin? Kung hindi pa sure, ano gagawin natin? So, magka-cash count tayo. Kung merong cash dun sa custody natin, bibilangin natin yan. Magkano ba yung cash? Itatali natin yung actual cash count dun sa cash balance per ledger. So, kung ang cash balance of ledger ay 100,000, pero pagbilang natin, kulang. Merong shortage. Yung shortage, that will be, to record the shortage and update the account of cash, will be an adjusting entry. It will be an internal transaction. Nangyari yon sa business lang, walang second party. So, i-update mo yung account mo. Hindi naman pwede may shortage ka. Ang cash na ilalagay mo ay 100,000 pa rin. So, you are going to make a journal entry of debit to cash cash shortage, and credit to cash. Ganun din kung may overage, you have to adjust your cash. You have to have adjustment for cash overage. Debit cash, credit, cash overage. So, ang cash overage will be an income account, and a cash shortage will be a expense account. O nabilang mo na yung cash mo, may shortage ka, na-update mo na. Kung meron kang cash in bank, reconciled ba yung pera mo doon sa cash in bank pag tinotal mo? Ay, ang bangko nag-charge siya ng service charge. Or sometimes, may mga cheque na in-issue na hindi pa na-encash. Or, meron tayong in-issue na cheque na walang pondo or kulang sa pondo. So, let us see how we are going to reconcile these events dun sa ledger account natin. Meron tayong tinatawag na daily cash sheet. Every day, binibilang yung pera para malaman kung sakto ba yung cash dun sa i-record na sales or accounts receivable. Kung pareho ba talaga yan. So, kung may shortage or overage, na-adjust ka agad or nade-determine ka agad. So, this daily cash sheet is more of an internal control measure para yung cash ma-monitor kung tama ba palagi. So, kung i-reconcile mo yung cash count mo sa daily sales mo and a collection of accounts receivable, every day, at the end of the period, tama na yung cash count mo palagi. Ang i-reconcile mo na lang cash in bank. So, meron tayong ganyan. Bago ka mag-close ng business at the end of the day, gagawa ka ng daily cash sheet. Petty cash fund. Yung petty cash fund naman, lahat ng sales mo and collection mo, nilalagay mo sa bangko. At the end of the day, dahil gagawa mo yan ng cash count and then gagawa mo na ng deposit slip for the next day para madala sa bangko. So, wala ka ng pera sa store mo or sa business mo. Paano ka andar para sa maliliit na cash payment mo? Yun, nagke-create ng tinatawag na petty cash fund. Yung petty cash fund, a small amount of money regularly kept to finance small amounts of expenses. Ito yung dito mo kukuhanin lahat yung maliliit na gastusin, yung mga pambayad sa porter, pambili ng kalamansi para sa tsaka, ganun ba? Mga maliliit na expenses na hindi mo pwedeng issuehan ng cheque. So, nag-create ng petty cash fund. Sa petty cash fund, una, i-record mo yung pag-set up ng fund. Tapos yung mga expenses doon, although may source document, yung iba wala. Or pinapapirma lang sa logbook, hindi mo kaagad nire-record sa journal. Nire-record mo lang yan at the end of the period or upon replenishment. Kapag naubos na yung pondo, ililista mo na lahat ng utang at saka mo pa lang siya gagawaan ng journal entry. Kasi papalitan mo na yung expenses ng cash uli eh. So magde-debit ka ng expenses, magke-credit ka ng cash. Makikita mo na yung actual balance ng petty cash fund. Tsaka mo pa lang siya ma-replenish o mapapalitan o gagawin mo. Kasi yung petty cash fund, palaging, kunyari, nag-set up ka ng 5,000 na petty cash fund. Every financial statement, 5,000 na yun. Unless i-reduce mo yung amount niya permanently or temporarily. Yun, tsaka pa lang yun mababago. Pero every financial statement preparation, kailangan buo yun. Kung nag-set up ka ng 5,000 makikita yun dun sa financial statement. So, kaya 2 beses na re-record ang mga expenses na binayaran out of petty cash fund. First, dun sa replenishment, and second, at the end of the period. So, ito yun. In-explain ko kanina, petty cash fund. Mag-issue ka ng cheque to create a petty cash fund kasi nasa bangko na lahat ng pera mo. So, gagawa ka ngayon ng petty cash box na babantayan ng petty cash custodian. Ito yung petty cash custodian. Siya yung magre-release ng pera at magre-record ng resibo na binayaran out of that petty cash. Siya yung responsible doon. So, taga-record at taga-hawak ng pera. Sa internal control, hindi maganda yon na ikaw ang taga-record, ikaw taga-hawak ng pera. Pero this is only a petty cash fund. So, maliit na pera lang to. Kaya madalas may shortage and overage. So, ito ang entrada to create a petty cash fund. With debit petty cash or petty cash fund and credit cash. Pareho silang cash, kaya lang this time, special form of cash na siya. Petty cash na. So, petty cash means the small amount that is allocated for the purpose of paying the small expenses which the company incurs in its day-to-day operations, where it is unreasonable to issue the check, and for managing the same, custodians are appointed by the company. So, maliliit na expenses na hinahawakan ng custodian appointed by the company. So, meron tayong tinatawag na petty cash voucher. Lahat ng lalabas na pera doon sa petty cash fund, kailangan merong petty cash voucher. So, nandun yung name ng binayaran, date kung kailan binayaran, ano yung binayaran, tapos approved by, prepared by, received by, sino tumanggap. Kahit may resibo na yan, i-attach pa rin dyan, sino itutusan para bumili nun. So, illustration tayo. The petty cash fund paid for the following expenses and its business policy to replenish it if the petty cash balance is below 400. So, 1,000 yung sinet up nating petty cash. Pag 400 na daw, i-replenish na. Pag below 400, i-replenish na. Ito yung mga nabili during the period. So, meron 90, 155, 170, 615, 365, 90. Pag ang total niya, 90. 1,000 yun eh. Ito yung cash balance. Ito yung mga expenses. Office supplies, 155, gasoline, 70, soft drinks. Ito yung, ito yung cash count. Ito yung total nitong tatlo. So, 615 ang nagastos, 365 na tira. Time to replenish na kasi below 400. So, ang total nitong expenses at cash ay 980. 1,000 yung pera natin. So, merong nawawalang 20. So, this is a cash shortage. How do you account for this cash shortage? So, una muna, i-record natin yung lahat ng expenses kasama na ang cash shortage or overage. So, at the end of the month, which is the end of our period, February 28, 1-month transaction lang. So, debit natin yung expenses. Yung resibo na nakita natin lahat, i-debit natin. Plus the cash shortage. And so, we credit the cash. So, yung petty cash fund natin, bumaba na. Naging less than 400 na. I-replenish or papalitan na natin yung 635. Ibabalik natin yan. Bibigyan uli natin ng cash na 635. So, magkakaroon ulit tayo ng debit what? Magkakaroon tayo ng petty cash, debit again, 600 on 35 and credit cash in bank. Magta-transfer tayo ng pera uli sa petty cash. So we have this bank reconciliation statement. Ito naman, i-reconcile natin sa bank statement yung ating cash per books. Wala naman tayong hawak na ibang pera. Lahat nakadeposito na. At saka yung iba nasa petty cash fund. So dapat, magkano yung nasa libro natin na cash in bank, hindi yung pera natin sa bangko. Pero, paano mo malalaman yon? Gagawa ka ng bank reconciliation statement. So, para ka makagawa ng bank reconciliation statement, kailangan meron kang bank statement. So, yung bank statement na galing sa bangko, ibibigay sa iyo kada buwan, i-reconcile mo ngayon sa ledger balance mo ng cash in bank for the same month, for the same end of the month. So, ito yung reconcile mo yung balance per bank. Ngayon, i-add mo yung mga outstanding checks. Mag-reconcile ka dapat sa adjusted balance per bank book. So, eto meron kang ledger na cash in bank. Yan ang balance niya. Pero, nung matanggap mo yung bank statement mo, iba. So, anong gagawin mo? Lahat ng nandito sa record mo, titignan mo kung meron dun sa bangko. Kapag wala, i-adjust mo. Katulad nitong outstanding checks. Ang ibig sabihin ng outstanding checks, na issue mo na, so natanggal mo na yun sa libro. Na-debit mo na yung expense or risk payable and na-credit mo na yung cash in bank. Pero hindi pa nagpupunta yung inisyuhan mo ng cheque sa bangko. So sa bangko, naka-record pa yung pera mo doon. Hindi pa nababawasan yung pera mo. Pero sa libro mo, nabawasan na yung pera mo. Anong gagawin mo para ma-reconcile ka doon sa balance per bank statement? Kailangan i-add back mo kasi meron yan sa bangko. Wala sa'yo. So, i-add mo. Ngayon, kunyari may kasi ngayon uso na yung diretso magbabayad sa bangko yung ibang customer. kahit di mo alam, kunyari, yung customer mo, nagbayad sa bangko para wag ma-delay sa payment, hindi sa store nagbayad. So, naka-record yun sa bangko as collection. Pero sa libro mo, wala. Anong gagawin mo? I-add mo. Kasi naka-add sa bangko, pero hindi naka-add sa'yo. Para ma-reconcile kayo ng bangko, i-add mo rin sa'yo. Ngayon, deposit in transit. Ito. Nagdeposito ka. So, ni-record mo na kagad na debit cash in bank and credit cash on hand or credit sales or whatever, kung diretso ba. O, ni-record mo na siya as cash in bank. Hindi umabot ng cut-off. Kasi sa bangko may cut-off yan eh. 11 o'clock. Before 11 o'clock, considered as days collection yan ng bangko. Or considered as deposit mo yan. Pero beyond 11 o'clock, i-record na nila yan as tomorrow's transaction. So, kung February 28, nag-deposit ka sa libro mo, nakalagay na yan as deposit. So, sa bangko, hindi yan nakalagay as deposit kasi hindi inabot ng cut-off. So, hindi nakalagay sa bangko, anong gagawin mo para ma-reconcile sa record mo? Hindi mo rin ilalagay. Hindi nakalagay sa bangko eh. Hindi mo rin ilalagay sa'yo. Aalisin mo muna. That is why deposit in transit is deducted from the balance per book. Dishonored check or NSF check. Ito yung check na ibinayad sa'yo. Pag-present ng bangko dun sa bangko ng issuer, walang pondo. Ikaw, na tumanggap niyan, i-record mo na yan as a collection. Hindi mo to check itong dishonored check, hindi mo check na in-issue. Ito yung check na tinanggap mo from your customer. The NSF check are those NSF checks of your customers. So, kumbaga, in-issuehan ka ng check tapos pinresent ng bangko, in-issue ka ng check tapos dineposit mo sa bangko para maging part ng cash mo. Pag-present ng bangko doon sa bank ng client mo, walang pondo. So yung ni-record mo na cash in bank, hindi totoo kasi walang pondo eh. So sa record ng bangko, wala na yan. Kasi when it presented it for payment, walang pondo, in-out na kagad nila yan sa record mo. Ikaw hindi mo na out sa record mo. Ano gagawin mo para ma-reconcile? I-out mo rin. So, other items, interest income and service charges. Itong interest income, i-add mo to dito to sa add. Kasi lumaki yung pera mo, tapos wala ka namang record. Di para ma-reconcile ka sa bangko, i-add mo. Itong interest expense, gastos ito sa bangko, hindi mo alam. Kasi ang bangko yung nagde-deduct automatic ng service charges. Ibinawas na ng bangko, pero hindi mo pa ibinabawas sa libro mo. So, anong gagawin mo? Ibabawas mo sa libro mo. So, kapag na-add mo na lahat ng dapat i-add, outstanding checks and other credits made directly to the bank, at na-i-minus mo na lahat ng dapat i-minus, deposit in transit, dishonored checks ng clients mo, at interest, service charges. Dito yung income ha, i-add yung income. Then you will come up with your adjusted balance per banks. Makikita mo na yung bank statement na inisyu ng bangko ay kamukha na ng balance na ito. Na-reconcile mo na kung ganon. Ibig sabihin, lahat na ng mga reconciling items na consider mo. Ano ngayon ang gagawin mo? i-update mo ngayon yung iyong libro. Except for some items. Itong deposit in transit, hindi mo na yan i-update kasi deposit mo naman talaga yan. Hindi lang yan na-record ng bangko. Pero itong NSF check, i-adjust mo yan. I-debit mo uli yung accounts receivable ng client mo. At i-credit mo ang cash in bank. Itong service charge, mag-entry ka niyan. Debit, service charge, credit, cash in bank. Itong interest income, mag-a-adjust ka dyan. Debit, cash in bank, credit, interest income. Itong outstanding checks, wala kang dyan, entry dyan. Kasi sooner or later, magpe-present for payment siyang client mo. Hindi mo na kailangan i-adjust. Other credits directly to the bank, ito kailangan malaman mo sino yung nagbayad sa bangko para mabawasan mo yung accounts receivable from that client. So, depende dun sa reconciling items kung dapat bang i-adjust or hindi. Itong outstanding, hindi na yun i-adjust. Kasi eventually, ipe-present nila yan for payment. Etong credits dapat i-adjust kasi kabawasan yan dun sa collectible mo. Deposit in transit need not be adjusted kasi eventually magiging part naman yan ng cash book ng bangko. So dishonored check, ito dapat kasi i-increase mo yung accounts receivable mo ulit. So interest income, it is to be recorded as an income. Service charges, it is to be recorded as expenses. So I hope this bank reconciliation will be clear to you kasi para at the end, pag na-assign kayo, kahit custodian lang kayo ng pera, marunong kayo mag-reconcile niyang balance ng bank statement at ng cash book. Ang nire-reconcile natin, yung balance na nakita nyo sa ledger ng cash at saka yung bank statement. Kailangan pareho ng period. Baka magkaiba yung period na tinitingnan nyo. If you are issued February, katulad nito, February yung dinidiscuss ko, March ito. Dapat March balance ng cash ledger account at saka end of the month ng March na bank statement. So, dalawa, bank statement, galing yan sa bangko, ini-issue every end of the month. So, kung in-issue ng end of the month ng March, dapat yung balance nyo per book ay ganun din. Same. Okay? Okay. Bank service fees and other charges. Bank interest income on deposits and savings. So, these are two items na ang bangko lang ang nakakaalam sa simula. Hanggat di niya nakikita yung bank statement nyo, hindi nyo malalapat. Actually, these bank interest and bank service charges have source document kasi yung bank statement ang source document niya. Kaya lang, end of the month nyo na nalalaman. Kaya nagiging part na ng adjusting entry. O, ito yung chronological or step-by-step preparation. Step-by-step preparation of bank reconciliation statement. First, find the deposit in transit. The first step is to see if one or more deposits are in transit. This can be done by comparing the deposits in business books or records with the deposits shown in the bank statement. If the deposit in the business accounting record that has not been shown in the bank statement, it means that deposit is in transit. Add to the bank statement balance all deposits that are in the business accounting record but have not been entered in the bank statement. Yun yung sinasabing, gumawa ka ng deposit slip sa libro mo, at the end of March, gawin natin yung March. At the end of March, sa March 31 entry mo, meron kang debit na cash in bank, let's say 100,000, and credit cash or cash sales. So, tingnan mo ngayon dun sa bank statement mo kung pumasok nga ba yung end of the month transaction mo. Yun naman usually yung deposit in transit yung dulong-dulong transaction mo. So, kung March 31, hindi lumabas sa banko yung hindi lumabas sa bank statement yung amount na yung 100,000 as your deposit, automatic deposit in transit yun. Matic na yun. So, step number 2, find outstanding unrepresented checks and deduct from bank statement balance. Find all checks that you have issued but have not been presented for payment. This can be done by comparing the checks issued in the business accounting record with the checks paid in the bank statement. If the accounting record shows that a check has been issued, but the bank statement does not show a corresponding entry for that check, this means that this is an outstanding or unpresented check. Deduct from the bank statement balance all the checks that have been issued and entered in the business accounting records but have not been paid to bank. So, pag sinabi mong deduct from the bank statement balance, dalawang klase kasi yung paggawa ng bank reconciliation statement yung tinatawag na book to bank or bank at tatlo pala. Book to bank, back to book, or you create both the bank and book balances. So, pag sinabi natin deduct from the bank statement balance all the checks that have been issued, ang assumption dito ang ginagamit na method ay separate. You create balance per book, lalagay mo lahat dun yung reconciling items, and balance per bank, ilalagay mo dun lahat yung reconciling items. So, dapat mag-equal yung balance per books mo at ang balance per bank mo. Pero yung pinresent ko kasi kaninang example ay example yun ng books to banks. So, yung book mo, nire-reconcile mo sa bank. Ang ending balance mo ay kamukha nung sa bank. Ito, yung balance per bank mo, ilalagay mo. Yung balance per book mo, ilalagay mo. So, lahat ng reconciling items para sa bank, ilalagay mo. Lahat ng reconciling item para sa book, ilalagay mo. So, at the end, yung dalawa, pareho ng total. Ganon din yung mangyayari doon. Ganon lang yung gagawin nyo. Ilalagay niya sa bangko itong outstanding check, merong balance per bank. Hindi nakalagay sa bangko yung outstanding check. So, ilalagay mo yon as deduction dun sa bangko. Sa'yo na libro, nakadeduct na yan, hindi mo nalalagay. Yung deposit in transit, hindi nakalagay din sa libro. Ilalagay sa bangko, ilalagay mo na rin yan sa bangko. Ganun ang pag-reconcile. Under this assumption, itong preparation ng bank reconciliation. Dapat pala, gagawa tayo ng yung magkabukod. Balance per book, balance per bank, and then at the end, magre-reconcile sila. Okay, step number 3. Find and add credit memorandum to the business accounting record. Teka muna, balik pa tayo doon. May isa pang discussion doon. Find outstanding checks presented. Paano malalaman yung mga outstanding checks? Meron kasi tayong tinatawag na check register Lahat ng libro yon kung saan naka-record lahat yung mga cheque na ini-issue. O kung walang libro, meron tayong tinatawag na check stub or duplicate copy ng cheque na ini-issue. Doon sa check stub, makikita niyo yung detalye ng cheque. Check number, kanino in-issue, magkano ang amount. So makikita niyo doon sa check stub, yung checking account nyo, pag pinilas nyo ganon, issue nyo yung cheque, may matitirang kapraso. Doon sa kapraso yan, makikita nyo kung ano-ano yung in-issue yung cheque, yung number, pumasok na ba. Doon yung makikita kung outstanding yan. Kung napilas na doon yung cheque, pero hindi pa nakikita doon sa bank statement na nabayaran na. Kailangan dated yun with the same bank statement. So, i-identify nyo lahat ng cheque na-issue for the March through the check register kung merong check register or kung walang check register dun sa check stub. Kung lahat ng na-issue nyo for the month of March nandun sa bank statement na binigay sa inyo, walang problema, walang outstanding check. Mabibilis mag-encash yung in-issuehan nyo. Pero kung meron kayong in-issue pero wala pa dun sa bank statement, then that becomes an outstanding check. Step 3, find and add credit memorandum to the business accounting record. Bank issues a credit memorandum when it collects a note receivable on behalf of the depositor. Find if there were any credit memorandum or memoranda issued by the bank which were not recorded in the business books or accounting record. Add to business books or record any unrecorded credit memorandum. So, nagiging adjusting entry lang yan kung hindi na-record yung credit memorandum na in-issue ng bangko. So, ano ibig sabihin ng credit memorandum? Dinadagdagan ng bangko yung cash ng business mo kasi tumanggap ito ng pera mula sa client mo. So, kinekredit ng bangko yung accounts receivable nung client mo kasi nagbayad na eh. So, ikaw, ikikredit mo rin yung accounts receivable mo from the client kasi nagbayad na. So, the bank receives or collects from a client the amount that that the business would have collected from this client. So, instead na ikaw yung business ang magkokolekta, yung bangko ng kolekta. Therefore, i-adjust mo yung books of accounts mo. Okay? Step number 4, find and deduct the amount found in the unrecorded debit memorandum from the business books of accounts. Ano naman yung debit memorandum? Bank provides various services to its depositors, such as printing checks, processing NSF checks, and collecting notes receivable. Bank deducts charges from depositors' account for these services and informs the depositor about such deduction by issuing a debit memorandum. Find any debit memorandum not recorded in the business accounting record. Deduct from the business book balance any debit memorandum issued by the bank but not entered in the accounting records. So, itong adjustment sa bank reconciliation are actually external transactions kasi may mga source document. Pero nagiging bahagi na lang yan ng adjusting entries kasi sa end of the month na gagawa, wherein naka-close na yung balance mo for the month. Pero kung gagawin mo hindi pa naka-close yung libro, it can be part of the external, it should be part of the external transactions kasi may mga may mga source document pa. Pero kung unrecorded, parang nagiging part na ng adjusting entry kasi nga sa dulo na nakikita. Pero kung susuriin mo, this is part of the external transaction kasi may source document. Kaya lang, end of the month na nakita or after balancing na after balancing na ng accounts sa ledger. Pero ang tamang procedure ay gagawa ka muna ng reconciliation statement bago mo kuhanin yung unadjusted, bago mo i-prepare yung unadjusted trial balance mo para complete na lahat yung data mo for the external transactions. So, step number 5. After doing the first 4 steps, determine if the balances per books and bank statement are equal. See whether the adjusted balance of the business accounting record is equal to the adjusted balance of the bank statement. Ito yung sinasabi ko na ang presentation niya ay dalawa. Nakapresent yun sa bank, nakapresent yun sa books. Yung nasa illustration na una kasi is nakapresent yung books, i-reconcile mo sa bank. Ang tawag doon ay from books to bank. Pwede rin namang from bank to books. Pero ito, bank and books are presented. So, step number 6, make appropriate journal entries. The final step in a bank reconciliation is to prepare appropriate journal entries for the items that have not yet been recorded in the books. Yun yung sinabi ko kanina sa inyo, hindi naman lahat ng reconciling items dun sa bank statement ay gagawa niya ng journal entries. Yun lang dapat i-record kasi hindi pa nare-record sa libro. Pero kung na-record na sa libro at eventually magiging totoo naman yan, hindi na kailangan katulad ng deposit and transit, tsaka outstanding checks. Hindi na kailangan gawa ng adjusting entries kasi eventually, ipepresent naman nung client nyo ang creditor nyo yung check for payment at yung deposit and transit, on the subsequent day naman, i-record yun ng bangko. So, all the rest should be recorded kasi that will be either expenses or income or collection of accounts receivable. So, tandaan nyo, ano daw yung una? Hanapin muna yung deposit in transit, then outstanding checks, then review nyo yung statement for service charges and service income that have not been recorded because of failure to receive credit or debit memo. Kasi nag-i-issue yung bangko ng credit or debit memo. Pero kung hindi natanggap para ma-record, magiging recording of, updating of transactions. Okay, summarize natin itong ating bank reconciliation, itong ating chapter 15. Generally, there are no internal transactions since all cash transactions are covered by source document, except in case of shortage or overage. A cash shortage is recorded as debit to cash shortage account and credit to cash, and a cash overage is recorded as a debit to cash and credit to cash shortage of overage account. There are tools or means employed to reconcile actual cash balance with the book balance. We have the daily cash sheets, to determine reconciliation of daily cash balance with actual cash count, and a bank reconciliation statement, which is prepared to determine that all transactions involving checks and bank deposits are all taken up in the business books of account. So, para ma-determine natin yung actual cash natin, we have to consult our cash count, sheet at saka yung bank reconciliation statement para ma-i-update talaga natin na para pag sinabi natin sa financial statement natin na we have 100,000 cash, totoong may 100,000 cash nga tayo. Hindi sa libro lang nakalista, kundi dun sa actual na cash existence. Nandun yun. So, next meeting, next discussion will be on this chapter. But, balik tayo dito sa chapter 15, sa cash. Ito yung pinaka-importanting asset natin. Kung may mismanage natin, masisira ang business natin. So, this is how we are going to make adjustment. The actual internal transaction in the cash is the cash shortage and overage account. Kasi ito lang naman yung walang source document. Itong sa bank reconciliation, lahat meron yung source document. Tapos yung sa petty cash natin, may mga vouchers naman yon. Pero yung mga expenses na yung mga vouchers. So, external transaction yan. Pero itong cash shortage and overage account is not an external transaction. Na wala lang yung basta, wala namang second party or other outside party na involved sa mismong business natin na wala at or nagkaroon ng hindi natin alam kung paano. Pero natuklasan natin sa pagbibilang natin ng pera. Sa bank reconciliation, sa bank state, sa bangko, lahat yan external transaction. Kasi yung interest and service charges, may debit and credit memo. Yung collection ng client, collection from the client through the bank, meron din yung record, meron siyang credit memo. So, lahat ng transaction sa bank kasi it involves a second party. May source document yan. Kaya lang, dapat nga hindi adjusting entry ang tawag yan, dapat updating entry kasi ina-update mo lahat ng expenses, receivable and income. So, yung adjusting entry kasi palagi lang natin ginagamit as adjusting entry. Pero pag in-analyze mo, sa adjusting entry, merong updating entry at merong adjusting entry na para sa internal transaction. Dapat ma-analyze na talaga na ang transaction into internal and external, and then the recording of the external transactions as journalizing of external transaction, at saka yung adjusting entries ma-consider na journalizing of internal transactions para yung mga bata hindi nako-confuse ano ba yung adjusting entries na yan. Lahat kasi adjusting entries Katulad dito sa bank reconciliation, wala namang adjusting entries dyan kasi lahat documented. Hindi lang nare-record ka agad because at the end of the period pa makukuha yung source document o malalaman na may source document. Pero external transaction yan kasi you always deal with the bank. Tapos itong sa petty cash fund, lahat naman yan may vouchers. So, pero at the end of the period mo lang din mare-record dahil sa at end of the period mo lang yan i-replenish. Although nire-replenish mo yan kapag kumonte, pero yung after that, at the end of the period mo na yan ma-record. So there are things na mahirap unawain kasi yung mga terms na nagagamit ay confusing. So pero kayo na ngayon malilinawan nyo na yung external, walang source source document, yung internal, walang source document. So pag nag-aaral na kayo, alam nyo na kung anong gagawin nyo ng adjusting entries. Etong sa bank reconciliation, hindi adjusting entries, updating entries yan kasi may source document. The only adjusting entry here is the cash shortage or overage. Sana maunawaan nyo itong mabuti. Para pag nag-a-adjust na kayo, although tinatawag ng iba na adjusting entry, kasi yun ang nakasanayan na. Ito is panibagong concept na ini-introduce ko sa inyo para mas maunawaan nyo. You know why confident ako dito? Kasi my daughter, she took an exam, entrance exam, at ang entrance exam nila ay journalizing and balancing and preparation of trial balance. Siya lang ang siya lang ang nakabalance. Lahat hindi nakabalance. And every time na meron silang activity na nagbabalance sila ng palagi siyang nakakabalance. I taught her the same principle. Una, ayaw niya paturo sa akin to. Secret daw niya. Pero sabi ko, no, you have to share it with other people, with other students. Mas maraming matututo. Mas magaganda yung pakiramdam ko bilang guro. At mas gaganda ang Pilipinas kasi mas maraming magiging magaling na bookkeeper na hindi na sila nag-wonder bakit nila ginagawa yung ginagawa nila. Na-explain na ng tama sa kanila. O bakit kailangan ganyan yan? Bakit kailangan ganyan yan? Ano tawag mo dito? You see, that is the beauty of knowing accounting and law at the same time. Nalalagyan mo ng tamang label yung bawat act. Kasi ganun sa batas eh. Pagka meron kang ginawa, kahit na yan yung ginawa mo, iba-iba minsan yan ang tawag. Because meron tang kinaklasify mo yung isang act according to elements. Kapag wala yung isang element na yun, hindi mo pwedeng tawagin na ganun yung isang bagay. Katulad ng crime na homicide and murder. Parehong pagpatayan. Pero may isang element na wala ang homicide. Pero meron ng murder. Kaya hindi mo matawag yung homicide na murder. That is intent to kill. Identified intent to kill. Wala yon sa homicide. Sa homicide, presumed ang intent to kill. Hindi pinuprove. Pero sa murder, you have to prove the intent to kill. Because mas mahaba, mas grabe ang penalty for murder than homicide. Although, parehong nag-result into killing. So in my knowledge as a Juris Doctor, doon ko na-apply sa pag-aaral ng accounting. Kasi mga accountant hindi masyadong particular sa term. More on skill sila. So, pag ina-analyze ko na, bakit ganun ang tawag? Ba't mo tatawagin adjusting entry? Ang adjusting entry para sa internal transaction. Ito, meron source document. Ito, walang source document. So, this is how I explained it. So, mas madali yung mauunawaan kasi dissected na yung mga mga transaction, and I am giving each transaction an appropriate terminology para mas maunawaan. Good day, everyone. Wait for the next video. We'll be having our 16th lesson. So, God bless. Keep safe. This ends our discussion for this topic. Bye-bye.